Okay, hey, we're back, and today we're going to be reviewing a couple of products that got sent to us. So we're going to see how these operate, and if you go to our newsletter, just go to mightyhouse.net, click on the Contact Us page, and fill that out. Sign up for the newsletter, and you'll find out how you can win these. These exact ones we will be mailing out to you. So feel free to go to mightyhouse.net, click on the Contact Us page, and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll find out how to win this stuff. Also, click on the subscribe button and click on the bell. That way you're notified when we do our next video. And of course, we want to say to Niles Design District, thanks. We'll be back right after this.
Here I come to save the day.
Welcome to Mighty House. This is a radio show for people with problems, home improvement problems, that is, and for people who want common sense guidance on how to build green and live a more sustainable lifestyle. Send an email or call into the show. The Mighty House crew is on the job. This is Mighty House.
Okay, first up, Rich, is what this product right here. This is called Putty King.
Putty King.
Putty King. So if you're doing drywall, you're doing something like that, and you need to patch this up. You know how when you call a painter, you have those guys that are paint installers, and then you have real painters that actually prep the walls first.
Painters will prep walls. Other guys just install paint.
Correct. So if you hire a paint installer, you'll never know what these are or see one. But
correct.
if you want to do a job
in your wall,
if you want to do a job
right across it.
Yeah, if you want to do it correctly, here's how we're going to do it. So we're going to set this out of the way. So they send you one of these devices right here. It's already got a piece of sandpaper on there. It's got this little slide deal. You flip it over, and it's got a little door in here. So
for batteries.
No batteries. They send you these pre-mixed putty tubes. It's almost like a small tube of toothpaste. But I don't know I don't know if it's got a minty fresh smell or not. We'll find out. Of course, I should be able to open this, right?
Yes,
Sonar?
but you probably trimmed your nails yesterday.
Yes, I did. Oh, I've got my MacGyver.
Wow, you got a third hand.
Yeah, see how that just came in there like that?
Yeah.
Pop. Okay. Let's see now, because that slides very nicely.
Right, but your tube's not open completely. So
so maybe it just lays. No, it does, because it'll go in there. You see how that's in there?
Yeah.
So I had it tucked in there. It doesn't need to tuck in. It needs to be just in the front. So then, because see now this
the little squeegee thingy lever pushes it like toothpaste right out.
Yes. So now let's try it. Oh yeah, look at that. See, look at that. Perfect. So now we need a hole.
Oh, look at that. That's the amount you were hoping for.
Yes. So now, see, our drywall here is nice and smooth. There. See, we need a couple of dings in here. There. Okay, we got dings we got to fix those dings in the wall. So now you take this and you put that. Ooh, look at that. Just like goes right over it. So then you squeeze some more out. There. So now we've got those filled really nice. Space for painting. Oh, so you can use this to paint it then if you wanted to. So there you go. So now we filled it. We flip it over with the sandpaper. You can sand it when it dries. And then you take the sponge applicator, paint applicator. It snaps over the sanding disc. And now you paint that area to do your repairs. Boom, done. That is really simple.
Yes. Wow, I'm going to start punching some holes in my walls.
That's right. See, let's see. Let's try this again. Look at that. Ooh, that's a nice deep one right there. Look at it. Fills it right up. And it doesn't look like there's no shrinkage either.
So what's your honest opinion of that? Is it a cheesy homeowner tool, or do you think it's actually got practical?
If you were like just doing one room, you'd probably go through one tube in a room, I would think, at worst. Depends on how bad, how many dings and stuff are in the walls. But I think it would speed it up. I mean, this is a lot quicker than if you were going to mix a pan of Durabond and go around and do your touch-ups.
Well, I think that's part of the point. I mean, most people aren't going to because they don't have a pan, a knife, a bag of Easy Sand 20.
Right.
You know, don't get me wrong. I mean, what I like with that is it's all in a package.
Right. It's one deal.
Right.
And it comes with extra painting sponges, extra sanding discs, and additional putty. So you can buy all of that stuff. And let's go to Mr. Sonar and see. Did he find out how much this is in the store? Or do we know?
Oh, no, I didn't take a look at it.
See? I didn't do my homework, and now I'm blaming you for not doing my homework.
It's somewhere around there. I would say $20, $25.
So is this worth $20 if you're going to go around and you're painting a room and you're going to do this? Is it worth $20 versus spending money on putty knives, a pan, sanding discs, and a painting sponge?
Well, I think it comes down to whether or not you have the tools. You have a van full of tools. I have a shop full of tools. So something like that, maybe not for me. But for the average homeowner who has a drawer full of hand tools or small, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would probably be pretty good for them.
So I guess
that would be the next thing I'd want to see. Okay, pull that tube out of there, or pull the. You got. Okay, take the blade out. And how about, because that you could cap, that's not a big deal.
Yep.
Now you got to get the little hole in the spreader cleaned out.
Yeah, that popped right back out. And I'm sure that this would clean up just fine. You'd have to...
you just run water through it.
Yeah, I think so. Here, let's find out. Let's find out if it's water soluble. Oh, yeah. Yep, that just cleans right. That'll just clean right up.
There you go.
See? Look at that.
Yeah, and as you were saying, Rich, me as a normal homeowner, I have to get all of these things, including the wet rag you were talking about. I mean, I've got to sit here. I mean, yeah, it will feel good, me putting on a tool belt and getting dirty and mixing something up, but but I mean, this is a perfect solution for somebody banging a chair into the wall, or I mean, any of these.
Well, that's
things.
my point as well. I don't think you're going to find your typical drywall contractor running around with one of these, but I think for the typical homeowner who's just trying to do some things on the weekend, it might be a decent investment.
For quick touch-ups, this would be great.
Yeah.
Because you touch up the ding in the wall, you've got a little extra paint, boom, boom, it's taken care of. And for $20, call a painter, it's going to be a couple $100 to have them come out and do the touch-ups and leave.
Yeah.
So it'd be quick, easy, you could do it yourself. And you're buying one tool. So there you go. Okay, this thing is, for $20, I think I'd give it a try.
Refills are $10 on the website.
And then these refills are $10.
Yep.
I don't know.
So,
I don't think you can beat that. That's I didn't want to like this product, but I think now that I've played with it, I like it. I think I like it. Okay, let's set this off to the side.
Like and subscribe for more content and visit mightyhouse.net.
Next up, you've got some of these. Whoa, what happened there? That's see-through brush. Okay, there, right there. See, look at that. You've got a couple of these too, don't you, Rich?
I do.
What are these?
You were kind enough to send me a couple. So these are a new paintbrush from a company called Stinger. So this is the Stinger Innovation.
Yeah.
And I have to keep it down here too. I think, which one do you have? That's the medium?
This is Fillablend Technology Stinger
Company
Innovation Series. I'm in the Innovation Series also.
Okay. All right. But then this one here is the Stinger Pro.
Yes.
So what most people can't tell, and you can't see if we hold them up because of green screen technology, but if you take and shoot straight down on that brush, we'll talk real quick about it. It's made from 3 types of filaments. So one is actually made to hold more paint. One is actually there to smooth it. But what really makes this brush different is that little extended tip, the Stinger. Okay. And the Pro has a darker blue one. But what it does is it's designed to hold more paint, but also that tip, if you've ever used a sash brush to try to cut in at corners and things, that Stinger will allow the paint to flow out to the tip where you're not moving the brush or rolling the brush. It gives you a finer, tighter line.
You see how this is kind of right here? This is like curling away. Right now, it's nice and straight, but as soon as you start to draw it, it curls away.
Right.
And that's
so you're
the problem
losing
with
your
these.
tip because it curls.
So now, if you do this with the Stinger and you lay it in there and now you start to pull it, now you've got a nice straight line through there. You see that?
Right. Your paint flows from the back of the brush to that Stinger tip.
Yep.
So sash brush is not made to go, big board left hand, small board right hand. It's made to hold at an angle and drag. And this is actually one of those really cool innovations to me. And I don't know what these brushes retail for. And I can tell you right now, I usually only buy expensive Putty brushes.
Yep.
And I would be all over these at almost any price because I don't need tape.
Correct. Well, yeah, when you do it correctly.
I dislike painter's tape because first off, it's extremely expensive for what it is. It's paper with glue on it.
Yep.
And second, I don't like tape because it does not give you a clean edge.
Not a clean edge. Are we ready to give this a shot?
Give it a line.
Okay, let's lay this down here.
But what I'm saying is, see how the paint is flowing from the back to the front?
Yep. Look at that. Dude, that cuts like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
actually funny. Paintbrushes have been around for, I don't know, I'm willing to bet somewhere around 4,000 years.
Yep.
Sash brushes have been around for at least 250 years. And somebody finally realized that all we needed to do is put a little tip on it.
And then, if you want to do a regular, and this is not prime, this is just regular drywall. I didn't even prime this yet. So it lays down a nice even line. I'm sorry, this one we're not sending out. This one I'm gonna keep this one.
Well, if they want to get their own, it's $25 a pop.
Okay, $25 a pop.
All right, and I can tell you right now, I pay that at least that for what I buy now.
Right. So now let's go to a standard sash brush. Let's see how I can lay this down, because this is what I'm used to working with. Well, you know what?
Well, the regular sash brush works fine, but it's still where the real difference is where the paint ends up.
Yeah.
So with a regular sash brush, you start running out of paint far sooner.
Yes. It's out. I did that one line, and I don't have any more.
Right.
I need to redip.
Now, the other thing, too, is if you look at the construction of the brush, your brush has a paint well in it. So if you look at the end of the brush, your old style sash brush, you can actually pull the bristles apart when it's cleaning it.
Yeah.
And you'll have a gap in the middle.
Right.
That's your paint well. That's what's designed to actually hold the paint. But from the paint well, it doesn't get to the tip very well. So what they did is if you look at a standard sash brush, it has a paint well between two rows of brushes, basically, of bristles.
Yep.
So when it's clean, when it's wet, it's hard to tell.
But this one
when
you
it's
can actually
dry,
see it.
You'll see two halves.
Yeah.
But on the Stinger, it's actually there's more bristles to carry more paint towards that Stinger tip.
Yeah, and you can see that in the thickness of this versus this one. There's
And I just like the feel of it. So I don't hold a paintbrush. Like, there's way too much handle on this.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know about you, but it's right. It's
I hold
sort
it
of like
like
holding
this.
a pencil.
Yep.
And you hold it at a 45 and you cut it in.
Right, just like that.
Yeah. So you can cut all that off. So the big thing with these is I just love the feel of it. The aluminum ringing.
It's got a nice weight to it.
Yeah.
And what do you, I know there's a name for this piece that goes around the brush.
I'd call it a ferrule, but I don't remember what they called it.
But it's
Hang
not.
on.
It's pressed on there versus it being nailed on and crimped. It's
an extruded aluminum ferrule.
Yes, very nice.
No, it is. That's the whole thing. It's extremely comfortable.
Again, this is not going to be sent out. It's dirty. We can't send out a dirty one.
Oh, of course not.
No. So we'll have to figure out another way to give one of those away.
How long do you use brushes for, Rich? Do you keep them for a couple
Pretty much
months?
till I've worn them to no bristles anymore.
Okay.
A good brush is like any tool. You take care of them. You know what I mean? So when you go to wash this out, here's a couple things. Don't ever get your brush up to the ferrule. right? Keep
Get
the
the
paint
paint all
down
the
at
way
the
up there.
bottom,
Yeah.
at the bottom where it belongs.
Right.
If it starts getting bad, then you want to go wash it out. But one of the things you do is you take a brush, a nail brush or a brass brush, and you want to clean all the impurities off the bristles. Get it clean.
Yep.
Now, if you have a brush that gets away from you, that's what paint stripper's for. Put your brush in paint stripper. It'll dissolve the paint, then wash it out.
Yep.
But there's no reason to let, and the worst thing you want to do is go buy a cheap paintbrush. Because a cheap paintbrush, the bristles will fall out as you're doing it. They won't lay down paint very nicely. You can tell when you're using a good brush.
Yes.
I'm telling this one, that's why this is a good quality brush that is meant for painting well.
So is this Pro or Joe?
This is definitely Pro.
Pro, without a doubt.
But good for Joe any day.
Yes. Well, and if somebody's worried about learning how to, they always have to tape their corners and all that stuff, and they tape their baseboards, give one of these a try. This is the cost of what it's going to cost you to buy all that tape. And by the time you go around a room, you'll be good at cutting in. And with one of these, it can't get any easier than this.
Well, one of the things, too, we talk about it, is even if you're really good at cutting in and you take your time.
Yep.
Let's say you're going across the top of a baseboard or around a window casing.
Yep.
Okay, you got a little extra paint on the window casing. What do?
Wipe it off.
You just take a wet rag out of your pocket, you wrap it around your 5-in-1 tool, and you take that and you clean that little paint smudge off of there. If you're doing a top of baseboard, you actually want to go across the top of that baseboard fairly quick, then wrap your 5-in-1 tool with a wet cloth and you drag it across the top of the baseboard and you end up with a perfect straight edge.
Yep.
So
Zero
the cutting
tape.
in is more to go back against the ceiling or two colors in a corner, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But again, there's techniques for it that tape is, I hate when I see tape come in a house.
Yes, I do too. Can't agree more. All right, let's move on to product number 3.
You've made it this far. Go ahead and ring that bell to be notified for future videos.
Okay, product number 3. See how I did that? 3. It's called the outlet, and it has 2 outlets like you normally. Yeah, it has 2 out, but it's also got a USB port in it.
Nice.
So now all of a sudden you go, well, I've already got 2 things plugged into it. I've already got. See how that's disappearing?
Yes.
Everything they sent us was green.
So whoever took a marketing and packaging class in college didn't learn not to put green on any box because
you can put
doesn't
holes in
work.
people. All right,
Yes.
so you've got 2 things plugged in. Now what happens? Let's go to the overhead shot. See, look at that. Now you pull this little button on the side, and it pops out. And now, check that out.
Whoa.
Now you've got 4 outlets and 2 USB ports. And it just pops back in. It folds in. So let's go ahead and
that's a 15 amp
remove
outlet right
this
there.
device from the box and see what comes with it. So we got the box right there. So let's flip that around. So if you want to read while you're sitting there, you can. All right. So then comes with a couple of screws and some longer ones too, in case you got too long. And then it has this outlet, so it pops open like that.
So it's an
Looks like
outlet
this is
and
just gonna-
cover plate in one.
It is, but it's got screws in there, so this cover plate has got to be able to pop off somehow. Let's do that. There we go. Come on.
If you would like to send us your things to break on air, contact Ron at
Send the
Mighty House.
products to Ron. I'll take the
Okay, let's see how this one works. All
I
right.
see shards of white plastic flying. I'll know you're in.
Oh, there you go. See, you got to take the little button off. Okay, so now you can get to these screws.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
this
that'll
folds
fit in
back
a
and
standard
locks into
single
place.
gang plastic box.
So the issue I have with this so far is that works good. This pops open nice. It's UL listed. It's so you can use this, and it's also got the Canadian and California code compliant, so you can use this anywhere. And then it's got that. There's your screws here to secure that to the box. But let's see if this goes into the box completely, because that's where I thought this does not fit.
So it doesn't fit a standard plaster ring.
No. This is so if you live in the Chicagoland area, most cases you're going to have a metal box like this,
Right.
plus a single gang plastering. Right now, this outlet does not pass through that plastering, so that part's no good.
So then you just shave it off.
So then the other thing is so deep.
Right.
Even if you could get it through that 1/2-inch plastering, it's not going to fit in a standard.
I'm looking
1.5
at
deep
the lugs
box.
on the backside. That's made for Romex and a plastic box.
For a retrofit, I'm going to guess in most cases this is not going to work. Now, if you're new construction and you're installing deeper boxes like this, we do 2-inch boxes. You can see that's going to go in just fine, and you'll have plenty of room. But you're also going to have to check your plasterings to make sure that passes through your
if it doesn't
plaster.
fit a standard plaster ring, a deep box isn't going to work. Do you have a non-metallic box sitting right there? Yeah.
I went to Lowe's
this-
and bought this just for you, Rich. I went and got.
Yeah, because that's a Florida box.
Yeah. This is the rest of the country box. Okay, so now this is also, what's this, 1 3/8 deep. It does fit in that box. So if you have these plastic
Yeah,
single
but where does my wire go?
In this case, you can't have any other wires in there. Can you see what's left in that box?
That's what I'm saying. So even in
Because there's
Romex,
set
how am I going to
screws
get?
right there. And
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not
not-
going to get,
not-
you're barely going to get those wires in that standard deep box. This is probably what you have. So again, you're probably going to have to go back and retrofit a deeper box into that opening, and now you're going to have room.
Yeah, so I would say this one, it's not a bad idea, but you definitely would want to plan ahead.
Yes, this product you're going to
So
have
if you're
to plan
cutting in an outlet and you're using Romex, if your municipality allows Romex, then yes, you
Yeah.
need to use the deep boxes.
Say that again?
Okay, so you got that in there, and then you got to put the little tab back in?
Yep. So now this little tab goes back on, so that just snaps on. And then this goes back in there, and now you're back up and running again. So it's an interesting idea. And to be fair to the manufacturers of this, there are other products that have pop-out outlets and stuff, and they don't fit into standard boxes either. You have to retrofit the box in the wall in order to get those pop-outs to work. So this is no different than several other manufacturers out there.
Right.
I'm just letting you know. It's great. It works. It's NEC listed. It's UL listed. It's a great product that you can install safely. But you're going to have to make sure you've got the right box in the wall before you go investing. How much? $49.99?
Yeah, I think it was $50.
So before you go investing $50 into this outlet and USB port, you're going to want to make sure you've got the right size box.
Is this
in there.
more professional new construction or like
No,
I go
it's
to my
limited
house?
use. So where I would use that, I would never put those throughout my house. That would be, it wouldn't even be legal on a kitchen counter because it's a 15 amp outlet and you'd need minimum 20.
Correct.
So that would be your desk outlets, workstations, things like that.
Yep.
Where
Where
you
have
you normally
computers.
have your computer plugged in or a laptop plugged in, but then you want to charge your phone or 2 items, then you plug in that way. So it's just expandable instead of going and getting a multi-plug.
Right. So, great idea. You know, I think if they can reduce the size of this device that goes into the box over time, they may be able to reduce that. And maybe what's making it so big, one is the mechanics to make that pop out like that. But the other thing is you need the, in order to have the USB charging ports in there, you need that, those microchips in there also. So there's a lot going on inside this to reduce that voltage. So there you go. It is
So
called,
it needs two things. It needs to be shallower if possible, and then also make it work in a standard plaster ring for a good portion of the country and
Right.
commercial.
correct.
Because even down here, it's all metallic EMT
Yep.
for commercial.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we only use Romex in residential.
Only extension cords on residential.
Yes, only residential.
Okay. Good. All right, there you go. It's called The Outlet, and it's $50 at your local big box store, I'm sure. So check it out.
Don't forget to sign up for the Mighty House newsletter at mightyhouse.net. Put in your email and click Boom Done.
Our last product today is going to be this right here. It's a wood filler, and it's
Gorks.
made, what is it, Rich?
GoodFilla.
Yes. And been around a while. We had them on the radio show when we were doing our radio show years ago. And Rich and I just both love this product, so we thought, what a great way to round out today's show by putting in a product that you don't see yet. It's not in the big box stores, but it's worth every penny. And if you're a professional, this is where you want to go for sure.
Yeah, I've given this to professional painters to use on trim work, and they're like, "Where'd you get this stuff? Where'd you get this stuff?" Because it's a water-based wood filler that's tintable.
Yep.
It can be stained or painted, and it's water-based, and it does not shrink. So if you have the 32-ounce tub like Ron's got and I've got in my hand, they dry out a little bit on the top, right? You see that happen? All you got to do is stir it. And if it's a little too thick, you add a touch of water. So it doesn't really go bad. I suppose if you freeze it, it's probably not a good thing.
I don't know. I've had it in my truck too. It's this
all
stuff.
winter?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I use it all the time.
Okay.
Like if you're shooting in some baseboard and stuff like that, and you're finishing up your trim work, you grab this stuff and a putty knife, go around, fill all the nail holes, boom, done. It works great. And the painters love it too. A lot of painters say, don't fill the nail holes, I'll do it myself, because they want it to look right. But I've had painters come back and say, hey, where'd you get that stuff? That's great. Is that caulk? And no. Here.
No,
is that the consistency of it? Is about caulk or?
No, it's like a thick.
It's almost like taping compound.
But I'd say it's thicker than that even.
Well, it's thicker. Yeah, I suppose. But it's a good putty filler. But they also make a grain filler.
Yes.
So the grain filler is actually, you get it in clear, and you can dye it to match the wood grain. Like if you wanted to do, oak is an open pore wood, ash is an open pore wood, right? Maple and walnut typically aren't. You don't need to use grain fillers typically on those.
Right.
But on an oak board, when you see professionally finished furniture and you see an oak tabletop and it's like smooth as glass, and you go get your stain and your polyurethane, and you can put 100 coats of polyurethane on there and it still doesn't look like what you saw, it's because you didn't use grain filler. So by using the GoodFilla grain filler, you wipe that on there, go over it with a wet rag that pushes that into that grain, fills those pores, and then when you put your top coat finish on, your finish is smooth as glass.
Yes.
But these products, water-based, safe, they're amazing.
Yep.
Best of luck to this guy. Like you said, he was on the show years ago, and this is a keeper.
Well, you said it could also be tinted. Does that mean I can just take a little bit of whatever stain or anything I'm using and just mix it with this?
Yep.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
Yes. They come they have some that are already certain colors.
Yeah, they offer 11 colors.
Yeah. But I always buy
So
this
you can
one,
get some.
the white.
But if you're doing like cherry trim or walnut trim in a house, you're not going to put white filler over it because you're going to go back with a clear coat. You don't typically stain cherry, walnut. There's a few species that's sort of a sin to put stain on.
Yeah.
So you would actually buy it where it's colored to that species of wood and then fill it. And once you put your clear coat on, it disappears.
Wow.
Yep, exactly. So there you go. Go check them out. I'll have website links to all of these products down below. So go ahead, go check them out, and let them know you heard about it right here on Mighty House. And also, again, for the newsletter, go to mightyhouse.net, click on the Contact Us page, go down, fill out the information, just click boom, done. We're not going to be mailing you a bunch of stuff. Once a week, you'll get a notice telling you what's on the show. And in this case, we've got some products to give away. So you'll find out what products we're giving away. And you can send us an email, and we'll fire those out at you. Yeah. So
I just want to say thank you to the Niles Design Center.
Look at that.
Wow.
Perfect.
Timing.
Look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants. All right. And with that, we'll say keep it square and level.
Until next time.
Until next time. Roll that music. Scroll it, baby. Scroll it.
Roll that bean.
That's it.
Okay, 45 minutes later.
Right?
Hey, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh.
Located on Milwaukee Avenue, the Niles Design District is a home improvement destination for consumers, designers, and contractors. For those looking to renovate a kitchen or a bathroom, expand with a new addition, or enhance their curb appeal, Niles Design District in Niles, Illinois offers everything in one convenient location.
It's your road to a better home.